Put your hands together. The one and only Dino Venti.
Tell us about where we're standing, a little bit of the history, whatever else you want to share with us.
Wow. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, this makes me feel like being at home. I am the youngest of 11. And, this is like Sunday morning at my house. Where's the spaghetti? No, this has just been a very heartwarming reminder why I love Salem. You know, the community shows up. I celebrated 28 years in business this year, January 2nd. Across the street in the Reed Opera House, 743 square feet, where I cut 100,000 pounds of chicken out that window, meet in Salem every morning going by, and it's what made me want to invest in this community, be in this community, live in this community, and without sounding too morbid, die in this community. I am here. This is my home, and these are my people. It's humbling to see this kind of community. For the last several years, I've had my head down, really trying to focus on my business. And sometimes you got to keep your head in that pivot, and this is reminding me to do that. I got to keep my head up and remind myself who my community is, and this is who you are. So thank you for being here. Over the 28 years, it's been such a learning curve for me. And if it wasn't for the community to support, all my efforts and my learning on you, and I appreciate your patience with that as I've learned how to be a restaurateur. I'd never been in this industry before until I opened up my own restaurant. So I really just faked it until I made it. I was selling Italian teriyaki to the Salem community for all these years. What's Italian teriyaki? Well, there, you try it, you tell me, right? And don't forget about it either. So. But we started in the Reed Opera House in 1996, where I was the owner, operator, manager. I was my only employee. And I did that for, it was probably almost 2 years. And then I started hiring people. And in the early days, when I hired people, it was barter. I literally paid my first employees, they would work for food. And for several years, that's basically what I did. I was my only employee, and I lived off my little tip jar on my ice cream counter. I bought the ice cream cafe in the Reed Opera House, and with aspirations of turning it into the teriyaki counter service thing that we were doing back then. And as I, aspired for growth and success, and I was so focused on being independent and financially stable, really what took over for me and really has driven me for all these years was falling in love with my community. Meeting each and every one of you one at a time, coming into my shop, getting ice cream, and I opened up as an ice cream shop in January 2nd, 1996, and I didn't serve my first rice bowl until April. So it was literally fried chicken wings and ice cream for the first few months. And as I was planning on, there was a lot of that going on. But in selling the new dream that was about to arrive in April, and I got the privilege to do that one person at a time as they came into the small 743 square foot shop that I inhabited for 12 years. And I was in there from 1996 till 2008, when the rooster at that point, the chicken, had become our mascot. Because I had, it was like about 10 years in, and I had one of my customers come in, and as I was sitting there prepping vegetables, and because I was always doing something as the day went on, and he goes, yeah, I see you cutting chicken every morning. He goes, how much chicken do you think you cut? And this is about 10 years in, and just the simple math was 200 pounds a week at that point. And now we do, exponentially more of that, but I did that all by myself. And after 10 years, that was, 50 ton. And I thought about, really, if you had taken me into a warehouse when I aspired to open up my own chicken teriyaki spot, and said, here's your next 10 years, and it was a big pile of chicken, I probably would have, maybe I'll do something else. But ignorance was bliss. And as I bought my first high-end knife, a Hinkle, and the blade was about that thick, and I still have it at my house, sitting in a very, very special place, and it's been ground down to that over the years. And it's a reminder to me on how I, really walked through my journey. And it was one piece of chicken at a time, literally 100,000 pounds of it. So we moved across the street in 2008, and that's when the chicken became our mascot, because my lovely wife, Leslie, who's also our graphic designer and brand manager, came up with this idea of, how are we gonna let people know when we're moving? So we got chalk and made chicken feet, and our campaign was, why did the chicken cross the street? We had the chicken come all the way across and into our new spot, and back in 2008, it was just up to this pillar here, so it was from there going that way with our basement bar. And we expanded into this space in 2018. I also opened the Tap House in 2011, which we did host greeters there, and it's been over a decade. So this has been a very nice awakening for me of how I've had my head down and I need to keep it up and participate more vigorously in this kind of interaction with my community, because it just warms my heart. And it makes me realize how great Salem is. I look at all this energy, all this wit. I'm still thinking of my tagline. I was going to come up here and just roll one out, but I'm going to bring one. It's going to be good, but I'm betting to do some right now, and it's going to be the right one. But I'll have something for the next greeters, which I will be at, no doubt. This is amazing. I thank all of you for showing up. I wish my restaurant was always this busy. And I was just lamenting with Mike from Adam's Ribs. I mean, this is as hard as it is for us right now in our industry. He's been, going down this path. We're kindred spirits. He's been open about as long as I have, and we were just commiserating that what a challenge it is for us these days. So remember to support all of these restaurants, and any of you restaurateurs are in here, I'm sure can commiserate with me. It is a challenging enterprise, coming out of COVID with our cost of goods and our labor both going up like 20%, so which is typically accounts for 70% of all our revenue is caught in cost of goods and labor. And to see that increase 40% from 2020 to now has really been a huge challenge to bring that price value to our customers. And we're trying our best to do that, trying to run as efficient as we can. We do have a new menu that'll be rolling out soon. It's gonna be a new format that we're hoping to drop all our prices down $3 to $4 across the board. We're gonna tout it as our inflation relief to our Salem community. But it is, it's a real thing. And it's interesting for me to hear how well our economy is doing. And I'm sure it is, but it's not as inclusive as most people would think it is. I think it's doing well for some people, and it's a struggle for the rest of us. But I think that if that is just top of everybody's mind, to participate and to get involved, I think that, and keep your head in a swivel and listen to Main Street, because without Main Street, there is no community. Community is not with the big corporations. The community is with our small independent businesses. They are the heart and soul of our communities. And that's what made me fall in love with Salem. I opened up in the Reed with Made in Salem, Xanadu, and some of the small businesses that are just a memory now. But it just warms my heart to remember, my introduction, what it was like to be a small business owner and to aspire to survive as long as they had back then. And, for the grace of God, I'm still here 28 years later. It's been half my life. I turned 56 this year. And that's been a very profound thought for me, is that this is half my life doing this, serving my community. Again, trying to bring good, clean food You know, that was my mantra when I opened up in 1996. You know, another century ago. I mean, the hair was dark, longer, you know. I still feel the same, but I don't look the same. I'm like, oh yeah, it's been 20 years. But I own it, you know. I own it, and I have aged with my community. I have grown up with my community. You know, I have become a better person with my community and because of my community. And for people showing up like this, I mean, this is amazing. You know, this is, I'm ashamed I'm not at this every month. You know, and I will be there. And I will bring a tagline, no doubt. I will. It's going to be good. Pressure's on, but trust me, I'll come up with something. You know, I'm the youngest of 11. I had to be clever. I had to, you know, it was like a jump ball at dinner. You know, for me to ever eat, I had to talk my siblings into, you know, saving some for me. So I had the taglines back then. I'll come back up with it. You know. But I don't know. Are there any questions? You know, anybody wants to know, you know, how it is, what it is? Here I am. I know I've got 15 minutes. I don't know if I can do it. Yes, in the back.
Number one most ordered dish.
Oh yeah.
The number one most ordered dish. Couple of things. Our tacos do very well, and our chicken Thai peanut bowl is also right at the top.
What's your favorite dish?
I like it all. But you know what I'm really hooked on right now is our vegan chorizo. We have a tempeh-based chorizo that is out of this world. I put it on everything. I put it on our mac. I put it in our wraps. I put it on our tacos. I'll just eat it out of the. I love it. It's really good and it's good for you.
Besides eating your house.
How else? You know what? Besides eating your house, can you help me? Help our community. You know, there's a lot of people in our community suffering. You know, we see it on our streets. You know, and it's been having a pretty profound impact downtown. Get involved, help with the organizations that are serving our most vulnerable, and you, by helping our community, you will be helping me because I am part of our community.
Say it out loud.
Wait.
It's actually a testimonial. I used to work at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon, and we could time our 30-minute lunch break so we could walk from the building, get a bento bowl, and walk back and we would eat our breakfast.
Wow.
Or eat our lunch. And that was in the late 90s.
Yeah. So you remember the Italian
I
teriyaki?
totally remember. Yeah.
Sweet.
Tell us about events like karaoke night and other events that happen through the week.
Yeah, Thursday nights we do karaoke. We've been doing that for quite some time now. We're bringing back music. It's one weekend a month right now. We're going to have it this weekend, but the band canceled. Their van broke down. But you know, look, follow us on Instagram and on our website, and host most of our events on there. Okay, yes.
Thank you for being allergy friendly. I always know that I could find something to eat at any of your restaurants, and I had no idea that you were the teriyaki. I used to yakisoba noodles all the time in high school.
One more question.
John David?
It's not a question. Sorry. Okay, let's go for a question.
Question.
Who's got a question?
Who's got a question?
I had a testimonial.
No.
Any questions?
One more question, and I'll take the testimonials.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
I know I already shared a little bit, but these guys are like the real deal. They're not flashy. They don't dress like I'm sure they have a ton of money, and they don't.
Hey, if you can find it, let me know.
Not to
They're
burn
just
your
like
trust about
real
that.
people, down to earth. Leslie used to come and let me cut designs in her hair
Yeah.
at barber school. Dino would show up and he would just show me videos of him like going down a mountain on a bike and just treated me so well as a person who had no money, was just trying to figure out life. So much grace, and I love supporting you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Video.
I'm coming in really quick. I really want to stress that karaoke is very unique. If any of you have been in the karaoke scene, it's so nice to come here on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock and not have the bar scene. Like, I'm not joking, and I feel comfortable here. I could even bring my kid here until, I don't know, but anyways, I really appreciate that.
It even starts at
Yeah, they can come for an hour. Oh, starts at 7? They can come for 2 hours.
Any last words of wisdom in our last minute here that you would like to share with us?
Go Salem.
Thank you, Dino.
Thank you. You guys want to do that? We're going to do door prizes now. Who's ready to win something? I know Damo is.